Mhm.
It's People to People, the People podcast of the DMV. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's about we and God we trust. Sir Rod and Lady Z, PTP.
Positive thinking people. Positive thinking people.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome. How y'all doing? Here we go. It's Friday date night. And let me tell y'all what's up. My dates tonight is all about on some serious note. So Lady Z is working the board. I got some special friends of mine in here that are some very, very powerful individuals. I'm just talking about that I just love having conversations with. And we're gonna have some serious conversations. So everybody just tuning in or whatever. Hey Lady Z, can you come in here real quick, please? Real quick. Don't bump the camera. Come in here and step on this side. Come on here and put your head beside me real quick. Hey, here she go, y'all. She back there working, doing what she do. And so she decided, I said, you're going to come in. What you told me? What you say?
I said no.
She said no.
No. Because he wanted me to open up, but no.
Okay. All right. So I just wanted to
But
let them
anyway,
know that you was here.
Happy Friday date night. Hope you all enjoy your weekend.
And we got a lot going on. We got I'll tell y'all about our birthday. We got a birthday coming up, and then we got Veterans Day coming up, man. It's all kind of good stuff. How about that?
Right. See ya.
Handle your business. All right, but ladies and gentlemen, yeah, so here I am. It's People to People. I'm your host, Rodney Grimes, and we are on the air where we come to you because we care. Your voice and your choice matters. And this is what we do. This is why I do this, and I can't wait for this conversation to get started because let me tell you something. These two individuals right here is not the type of people you want to talk to on the bus. Because I'm going to tell you something, by the time you get through, you're going to miss your stop. I'd like to introduce my guests today, Ms. Faustine and Charles King. How y'all doing?
Hey, how's everyone doing?
Hey, so, basically, it just wasn't planned. This is spontaneous. I just, they just happened to be visiting us and I was going to come on and talk about some serious conversation, but I always have serious conversation with these two individuals. And so what I wanted to do is just bring up some things that really been bothering me. And I'm going to start off with this. Look, I know that a lot of us out here are wondering where we going in our tomorrow. My point I want to make to you, you're going to have to start making changes for your tomorrow. You have to start being prepared. You're going to have to start doing things. I'm concerned because we just seen something happen a few days ago that sets a tone for people to break the law, to lie and discriminate, and then hold a position that is a position that's almost like one of the top in the whole world. That's crazy. Does that make you feel uncomfortable?
For me, I'm more like this. Okay, so I usually look at the situation. I look at where I'm in, what I'm in right now, what world I'm in right now, and when I look at it and realize things, I more look at, okay, well now here's my new blueprint. This is how I'm going to have to maneuver through. So I have to come up with a new blueprint so I can maneuver through anything that's happening in the world.
Yeah,
Anything.
I like that. So it's almost like you got to develop a system.
You got it because that's what we're working in. We're functioning and operating in a system, whether you think it's corrupt, whether you think it's not corrupt, whatever your mindset is. But it's got to be your mindset. It's You got to make it work for you.
So I mean, what I'm asking you right now is this: with everything the way that it is right now and where it was, who do we hold responsible for what's happening today? Do we pay attention to what happened in the past, or do we just start from this moment on, moving into the future, trying to say, okay, we got to get the new mindset.
Why point fingers? Why not just take accountability for your own piece of the puzzle? I mean, we got to be accountable for our own actions, man. I mean, I can say I'm at my level where I am because of that person, but I'm at my level because of this person, tell you the truth.
Okay.
It's because of me.
Okay. So that's what I like that. I think that's important. So one of the things we were discussing prior to coming on the air. So one of the things that we're looking at, you have to make the change within yourself.
Within.
You know, Rodney, you can. The thing of, I think what we people we don't realize is whatever the situation that's going on in this world, that you don't have control over it.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all. Even when everyone voted,
We didn't
it's
have no
not the popular votes that made any decision. It was the electoral. So when people understand, just because you go out in groves and groves, unless that the state with those numbers add up for whatever side, whether they're telling the truth or telling a lie, whether it's the lesser evil of the two, regardless, you've had these elections for so many years anyway. Okay, and I believe as blacks, I don't think we really got into the political part of it until a black president, I guess I can say that, was running, a few years back. But nevertheless, I feel the way I feel about how the world is. I mean, even back in the day, it's like, oh, these kids. I think you're talking about what the kids are doing, how they're being raised, and what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Who's the problem? Is it the parent problem? At the end of the day, you can raise your children in a good home. They still make their own decisions. I always said this. I know what my child would do in my sight. I don't know what a child will do out of my sight. And I don't think anyone can say, oh, my child would not do this or that. But you can't blame it on
the environment.
Yeah, it's like it's their choice. When you understand, like, everybody has a choice.
Okay, so but my argument will be this: if you have a child being raised in an environment where they're constantly being exposed to drugs and profanity, robbing and stealing, what do you expect? You think that's a good environment that we can?
I mean, that person is then a product of their environment, but not all kids follow that.
Right. But the chances of that kid falling is more likely than not.
Yeah, possible.
I grew up in Berry Farms, then moved to Minnesota Avenue. I've seen a lot of things around me. Now, I also understood that if I went to jail, that's going to be rough on my life in the future. So I did have to think about my future. I may not have been a college graduate or anything like that, but I knew it would affect my future. Mm-hmm. So, my friends were my friends. I never turned my nose up at them or looked down on them for whatever they got into. But I had to take control of my future, even though I was a product of that environment. Mm-hmm. So you kind of gotta. I mean, it's tough though. It's tough. I'm not saying it was easy. It's tough.
Life is choice driven. We live and die by the choices we make. Regardless of our age. It's life is just choice driven, and we can't blame society. We can't blame. I think when you start pointing the finger at the person that's actually doing whatever, good or bad or whatever, I think then people will come to like a more understanding of, okay, it's me. What do I do to change me? Stop blaming, oh, we don't have this, or the blacks don't have this because of this, because of that, because of him, because of her. Because at the end of the day, when we came in here earlier, They have a class in this building here. It says financial literacy, but it's for the youth. And when I saw that, I said, wow. You know, Charles and I and Gina, we just did this maybe what?
Last year.
Last year. Free information, financial literacy.
For a whole year.
Whole year.
Once
Once a month. And the outcome was like embarrassing. It's like, this is free information we're giving out to our people, and they don't show up.
Yeah.
And yet now we're complaining.
If you
Now
really
you're
want
blaming.
it, you go.
Why are
for
you
it.
blaming the government, blaming the this, blaming the that? What we have to do, learn the system,
And
learn how
yeah.
to work the system.
As
You
some
know,
people that
find
we
the
see,
resources that
we-
we need.
we see somebody that learned how to work the system
And
because,
I'm not mad.
hey,
I'm
Why
not
are we
mad.
mad? Why are we mad?
Show
when we
me
can
how to
educate
work the
ourselves?
system.
You know what? At this time and age, even the word says that in the end time, knowledge will increase. Anything you need, you can bring it up. Google it, YouTube. All people just giving out free information, just free. So why sit and blame anybody but yourself or
Okay.
ourselves?
okay, and I get it. I agree with you. One of the things that really bothered me, we go around and we look at the businesses and things of that nature. How many restaurants do you see that are black owned? How many, when you go into the black neighborhoods, you see 90% of the people that got the liquor stores and the little restaurants are foreigners. And
I
they
had a
don't,
restaurant in a liquor store.
Huh?
I had a restaurant in a liquor store.
but you still you don't have it now.
Not now. No.
Okay, but how many of us say, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I want to be an entrepreneur. That name don't even come out of our mouths because that's not what we're taught.
Right.
See, we're taught different.
So one of the things that I was sharing with somebody, go ahead. 'Cause
No, when you say how many, it's like all the information out here to even start it.
but if you don't know, some people don't even
It's not,
know.
you know, we should never say we don't know. Again, let's go back to the internet, free information. You have people giving free classes. Even, let's talk about legacy. Even on creating yourself a trust. You understand? An estate, and a trust, a legacy for your children, and putting your businesses inside that trust, and then adding different things in that trust that the beneficiary is that trust that distributes the money to your beneficiaries. You know, it's like it's free information. We can't sit nowadays and blame society, blame this man or that man or the government. Come on, when do we stop blaming? You know, when do we take ownership? When? At what point? Do we just stop blaming? Because at the end of the day, you know, we were talking earlier. Oh, you start a business and you get this much money. Oh, now you spending it. When it's like, come on, you have to reinvest. And let's go to the scripture. If they're a fool in his money, it's easily parted. Easily parted. So at the end of the day, not only educate yourself to start a business, educate yourself how to run that business, run the finances of that business, and stop blaming others. Or when your downfall or your failure comes in, people blame other people.
So what do the kids say that goes in, and we have a black kid go in and they give him a hard time based on the color of his skin, and then the foreigner come in and they give him the job without scrutinizing, or the white kid? What situation does that play? How do you manage that? Do we sit back and say, okay, we got to change? We changing what we're doing because we're going out trying to get the job. But what happens when we go to try to get the job? What happens then? Do we blame the person who's out there behind the desk saying, hey, I'm going to interview you, but I'm going to still judge you based on the way that you look,
You
the
know,
color of your skin?
you know,
That still happens.
It does now for me.
Yeah.
For me. All right. And I'm going back when I was looking for a job.
Right.
Okay. So I can't just put in, and I know this. So at least I'm aware of this. I can't put in one resume and say, oh, I know I'm going to get this because I'm qualified. I can't put in one resume. I know I need to put in 50, 100 resumes to get called at least twice. You know, it's a numbers game out here for us. And when you understand that it's a numbers game, you're gonna have to put that extra effort forward. You gotta take that extra step forward, knowing that, like you said, you've been judged because of whatever the reason is, whatever your
Stereotype.
orientation, your race, your ethnic background, whatever the case is. But so if you understand that, you know you got to do a little bit more.
Right. Let me ask you this. You was talking about individuals who may not took the class that you was offering, right?
Mhm.
Did you know about that information all your life? Or how did you come about getting that information?
I guess some of it. I learned about life insurance policy when I was in my 20s, and my aunt was telling me I should do that. But the overall, some of the different ways you can use the insurance policy, I was not taught that. But again, I self-educated myself, like, wow, if I see something like, oh, how do you buy stocks? I'm like, oh, wow, let me go and look this up. Let me go YouTube this. Let me go and sit down and write the notes down and see how it works. Oh, as a matter of fact, back in '07, my son, Alton, he was day trading. He was like, Mama, why don't you buy some penny stock? I'm like, what's a penny stock? You know what I mean? He said, it don't cost that much. You can just see how it works, right? I did that. Okay. Back when the market crashed in '09, when while the Bush and I'm not supposed to say, but while in '09, when all these companies went down, I started buying into those companies, I don't know if I can say the names, but I started buying into those companies because once the market crashed, right, the prices went down, right? So once the prices went down, oh wow, I can buy some shares for like $3 a share. You know what I mean? So I learned that. I learned how to work my TSP, like your 401k, right? I learned what those funds were, and they run on the S&P 500, and just different, you know.
How many
So let me get this straight. You learned the system.
I learned the system and how it worked, and how to fund it, and how to move the money as the world events happens.
how many children you have?
I have about like two, and I have two stepsons, so I have four.
Okay. Do all your children move the way you move?
No,
You know, there's a mixture
no,
of
it's
No,
a little bit in this one, a little bit in that
Okay.
one. It's
So
split.
my point I want to make is this. I agree with you. You have to make change, right? One of the things that I tried, like what we do here at this location with the Good Fight, Unfiltered, Unspoken, Demetrius Gooding, they do these classes to empower the youth,
Yes.
right? Which is a very, very
Excellent.
powerful thing.
Very
Yes.
powerful.
Okay. Now, when we have these situations, we are now trying to make a difference. But not everybody that go out of that class is going to get it.
Right.
Some of them is if 8 students in there, possibly 3 of them is really going to lock down. And if it's 8, let's say we're going to take 2 of them that really ain't paying no attention, and then that leaves 3 more that's borderline.
But
Right.
see, one thing you got to understand with that, and yes, that's true. You're gonna have kids that don't get it, yes. But the thing about it, one plant, one water, but the Most High brings the increase in us if you believe or whatever. My thing is, people learn different. Maybe those 3 kids that's catching on to it, they learn in that same way. And you have some other kids, you got to teach them another way. You have to break it down another way. That light bulb will pop on. So you can't say, oh, well, they're not gonna amount to anything. You can't do that. because everybody learns different. When a person, like I had to learn my way of learning, because shoot, I'm ADHD. If Charles and I are talking about something, he's showing me something, let something over there go boom. I'm like this.
And I'm like this.
And he's still staying consistent. So my attention, boom, you know. So as I became older, I had to find out what is my learning technique, skill. How do I teach myself to grasp and hold on?
Good. Hold right there. And that's what I want to tell some of the guests. Just what she said. You have to teach yourself. We have to get to a point where we make a difference. That includes me, you, and everybody else. We want to see a change. That's my point I want to make. Let's start doing something that's going to change the outcome of our behavior for our future. Where we don't really look at everybody else and say, okay, they're stopping us from doing this. They're giving all the people over here that. Let us get to the point, like you said, and this includes every last one of us. That was why I wanted to bring this up. I want us to get to a point where we stop sitting around doing nothing. Let's start doing something to change the outcome so that we can look at our future and dictate the outcome. We can do that. If you get up and you read, you expose yourself to these individuals. Here, myself, I grew up, I was always trying to do some business one way or another, okay? And that's who I am. I'm gonna die doing that. I got plans when if I can't crawl out the bed, it's still something that I know I can do that's gonna make me be relevant and can get me some money. I know what I can do. But that didn't just come. That was taught to me. That was shown to me. One of my neighbors, he's deceased, Otis Jones. I love this man because he was the one that gave me the key to the lawnmower and told me to go out and he always said, Rodney, you can make a couple dollars, man. When you know what I used to do? I used to say, Otis, can I borrow $5? He said, why borrow it when you can make it? Right? Now, he planted a seed in me. You see?
Right.
Now, so my point, Faustine, you're right. Charles, you're right. You know, y'all one of the most, I hope I say this right, but y'all one of the couples that I love talking to. You know why? Because y'all don't sugarcoat it. And every time y'all come and have a serious conversation with me and my wife, we always get something out of it where we peel back the layers and deal with the real truth of the matter. So we as people looked at what just happened with this election. We got a lot of people that are really, really afraid. We got a lot of people that don't know what's going to be in the tomorrow. Well, if you don't know, start to learn the system, make a system that works for you to get you going forward. Go ahead.
Let me tell you what some people don't understand. When that person was elected, the next morning, the stocks soared 1,500 points. Okay? So what does that mean to you? I'm asking you a question now. What does that mean to you when it soared 1,500 points? Stock market.
That means that he has some kind of control over some things.
So how did that affect you? What happened that next day affect you in the stock market?
I don't really know.
And that's the problem. People don't know. You got a 401 or a TSP?
Yes.
Where is it? What is it connected to?
The stock market.
So what happened? Money went up. Stocks went up. Connect yourself with what they're connected to. It don't have to be at a high level. It can be at a low level. You understand? So when they make money, you make money. People miss that.
And here's the thing. See, people getting upset over the wrong things, and what they doing is getting distracted. And that's why you can't learn a lot of this stuff and the system and everything. Because you got too many distractions around you that you keep focusing on instead of focusing on, you got to clean your own house first.
Yeah.
If you don't clean your house, how can you help somebody else with their house? you can't do it. You got to do a thing before you can show a thing and teach a thing.
Right.
So I mean,
I like
it's just
that.
it's
I
too
like
many
that.
distractions out here. I can't get caught up in a lot of that stuff, that junk. So I got to we look at what's good for us, what works for us,
That's
what
right.
we going to benefit at, how
That's
we
right.
can grow here, what we can put in place over there, how we can move this over here.
That's right.
Because if we don't do that, and if we look at, man, look what's happening right now. Man, did you know he did this? Did you know she did that? We missing something. We missing something. She's retired. I'm talking about retiring, and we need to have things in place because we've watched too many of our ancestors just live right there on the poverty line.
Oh, yeah.
You know, some of it was by choice, some of it wasn't by choice, but we look at avoiding these distractions so we don't have to live on the poverty line.
You know, at the end of the day, regardless of what side won, everybody had an opportunity to say, this is who I wanted because of whatever policies were put in place, whatever their interest was. That's your prerogative to choose who you like or who you want. But at the end of the day, where did it help me? When I see something that the person did helps me, like, wow, I'm for it. And people say, oh, it's going to be a war. Do you have control over that?
It's a war
It's always a
everywhere.
war. But do you have control over that war, or do you have control over your lifestyle, your finances, what you're going to do? You understand? To support and take care of your family. Stop pointing the finger at everybody else. Point it at yourself and start doing something.
So do you think that it's just about self?
What do you mean it's about self?
Do you think that individuals should just concentrate on their individual self and not
The thing
about?
about it, what people don't understand, see, you represent more than yourself.
And that's
Even when
why
you focus on yourself. When you're on the airplane, what's the first thing they tell you to do? Put the oxygen on yourself.
before you take care of that little kid.
There you go. Or anybody else.
Mhm.
Take care of you.
Because that goes back to what I was saying earlier. How can you help somebody if you're not in good shape?
Okay, I'm not disputing none of that. I'm hoping that everybody that just tuned in, that you just tuning in. My name's Rodney Grimes. This is the People to People podcast. This is date night, Friday date night. Lady Z is working aboard. I had so much on my heart today. I just said I wanted to come in and get some serious conversation. And my lovely couple that I have with me, these are my friends. These are some very, very, I consider to be highly intelligent individuals who speak truth. And so if you're just tuning in, this is date night, Friday night, serious conversation. We just pounding away, just thinking about some things. Something that did bother me, okay, and doing all this conversation right now. Here we are. We had a woman running for office, right, who happened to be a woman of color. And I believe, from my perspective, that this country wasn't ready for that.
Yeah. See, at the end of the day, you can't go for identity policy. Oh, just because you're black, I'm going to vote for you. Just because you're white, I'm going to vote for you. Just because you're Hispanic, I'm going to vote for you. Just because you're an Asian, I'm going to vote for you. No. What was the person saying? Again, what was the policy that interests you? And what were your interests as it relates to what was put out? If they're not saying anything, they're not pulling you in, it's like, oh, okay, I'll vote for this one, I'll vote for that one.
But what about then when you have an individual who is a criminal, who sets a tone by committing crimes, by belittling different ethnic backgrounds and things of that nature, and you think is that okay?
But didn't that just set precedents? That started something to say, okay, now y'all may need to remove that felony question off of applications.
Yeah, how about that?
That's it. So what? I mean, come on, y'all. Okay, if that happened, that's great for every felony in America. Come on.
get
So
you. I get you. Right.
come on, stop looking at it like that. Look at it like, hey man, shoot, that's the highest position in the country. One of the most powerful positions in the world, and got in as a felon. Oh, maybe they need to remove that off some of these applications. So
Got it.
what's the problem?
Gotta know the system.
What's the problem?
You know, you got to work the system.
You gotta know the
What's the
system.
problem? See, again, you said, oh, so you just think about you. What are you supposed to just think about yourself? And I think I brought up about having a trust, a revocable or irrevocable trust. And what the people complain about, they have irrevocable trust. That's a tax shelter. Oh, why they only paying a little bit of taxes? They know how to work the system. When you learn how to work the system, I was in the government. Every job I got was a dead end job. I got promoted on every one of them. You know why? I learned how to work the system. I learned how to write up my own position description. I learned how to do those factors and not sit around and wait for my supervisor to give me anything. I wrote it for the person. Hey, here you go.
Not everybody is blessed with those skills.
Yes, you are.
Not
Hey,
everybody.
guess
Yes, you
what?
are.
They got AI now. They got
Yeah.
Hey,
AI.
AI,
You just tell it, write it up for
I
you.
need this, da-da-da. Could you write this up?
Do you know not everybody know what AI is?
They will.
They will. But
Mhm.
see, I'm not disputing or going against them. I'm just going to say this.
Let me
You
say
know
this
what?
too.
You know when I deal with young people, let me tell you something. Not everybody learn the same way. Not everybody is
everybody.
capable of
Yes.
dealing with money
Yes.
or even being a leader. Not everybody have that in them. So what you do in that case, you have to figure out how to maneuver through the system at the level that you know how to operate.
Mhm.
Number one, again, just like you said, you stay in your lane. If I don't know how to balance it, my finances, you know, I find somebody that can help me.
Yeah.
Resources. There's no excuse for failure. But if you fail and fall on your back, you always looking up. So you can always stand up. If you have started any business, and that's what people forget, and it fails, one thing you know, you got the blueprint and you can do it again. And the thing about it, you never lose when your business fails. It's like you're investing in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? It's like, oh, I know what I did wrong the last time.
That's
Let
right.
me do better this time, because you can start it back over. You can start it back over every time. Oh, and like you said, you always need somebody in your circle. See, when you understand I'm not an island to myself, that you need people, you'll put those people in place where you're weak.
Like a chess game. It's
There you go.
chess. It's not checkers, it's chess. And every single piece moves differently on the chessboard.
Ladies and gentlemen, now y'all see why they my friends. Now y'all see why they my friends. This is what I'm talking about. You supposed to surround yourself around people who making moves. People try to talk the way you need to talk. People walk the way you want to walk. You know, if you hang around drug dealers, you end up being a drug dealer. Start being one of the people buying the drugs. When you hang around people who understand about business and things of that nature, they start to help you to understand that if there's a will, there's a way. So a lot of you who are just tuning in, please understand. Make a change in your life. Get to Google it. What you call it? AI?
AI,
AI, you know,
artificial intelligence.
we got so much going on right now for us. We have to really get to a point where we use it to our benefit. And we don't look and say it's the end of the world because this man or that woman or this person did this. You know something? If he's the mayor of your city, he's not the controller in your household.
Yeah.
You control your household, right? And that's the way you're looking at it. And that's what I'm talking about. And I'm hoping the message get out today is that let's make a change. let's stop blaming everybody else. Let us really collectively start to pay attention to our surroundings, that we can make a better life for ourselves. And when we do this, I always say this: if one person do it, somebody else will pick it up. Everybody, we got people paying attention. We got a lot of young people out here that are struggling. We need more opportunities where, just like what was happening here at um, uh, the Good Fight, where they're having the classes where they are teaching these young people about literacy, financial literacy. We even opening it up where we're going to teach them about podcasting and working aboard and doing production. I'm a
good.
professional photographer. We're going to expose that. I've already talked to one of the kids and told them, this is here an opportunity for you. I will give you the pointers and help. And this is what we got to do: is we got to make changes, and we got to do this now. I say this to many leaders: don't give up on us, the people who are struggling, because we need leaders so we can follow. And it's a lot of us that need to take on leadership positions, whether you're in a marriage or you're in a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever kind of relationship, in the schools, in the hospitals, wherever you are. You always need somebody to help guide you and move you in a direction. And follow the ones that making sense. Don't follow the dummies. Don't follow the people that's not trying to be productive in their life. A lot of us find ourselves, in those positions. I know that there's a lot of us that who may not understand the process of the system and creating the system, but it's a lot of us that want to. And
Yeah.
we got to give them hope and encourage them.
Yeah, we do. We do.
You-
And again, like you said, you have to. I'm sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
You said something as I was listening to you run down what you're doing with the kids. Previously, we mentioned, and some of the kids, people learn different. It's a little tougher for some kids to get it, and then other kids get it like that. And here's the thing with that also. You also mentioned broadcasting, professional photography. That same kid that's in the financial literacy class may not understand that right now, but may pick up photography like that, or may learn how to run a switchboard like that. But then once they start learning that, that's the beginning of it right there. Once they start learning it and build that confidence, and that's the thing. A lot of kids don't have this confidence. That's why they're so angry.
Yeah.
They don't have the confidence.
Well, and that's so true. And when we talk about not blaming other people, but we got more dog parks out in the city than we do avenues for kids to go and get help. We got more bike little things on the street than we do have for kids to go to an area and learn about these little programs. Here we got a room here that probably hold no more than 10 or 15 kids at the most. We lucky if we can get 15 in there. But we should have a room where we can get 50 kids in there and not make it so hard for us to be able to do these things. These are some of the things that we're up against. But we have a lot of people who will sit back and complain but do nothing. Me, I'm a doer. I open doors. I get out. I've been always out here. I mentor many, many, many young people, and I continue to do so. I was with one of the guys who I've been mentoring for a long time. He's a grown man now. He's doing very, very well. And one of the things that I realized, and he told me, he said, you hold your head up because I'm where I am because of what you were showing me. Now, when he said that, I thought about it. You know something? That's my point. We've got to get to a point where we don't give up on the person over there and let these other people. This is why I do the podcast. I don't do this because I don't get paid. I'm it's money just going out. Ain't nothing coming in here. The money that come in here, I bring it. And every now and then I'll get somebody to donate something. That's okay. But my intention is, with the podcast, is to be a platform for individuals to get information, to see whether they can move forward. I want those kids. I brought the kids in here. I want them to come and feel like that they can sit down and talk about what they want for tomorrow. You remember Petey Green?
Mm-hmm.
right? You remember
I've
him?
heard it.
Mm-hmm.
That he was one of the men back in the day that
Mhm.
everybody wanted to listen to him because he spoke truth.
Mm-hmm.
He talked
Mhm.
about encouraging the communities and what was going on because a lot of people didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Well, when we're in these situations, we have to set those tones. Thank you for having those classes. The ones that didn't come, they missed out. But you know something? I can tell you, I am one of the individuals who watch individuals like yourself. I pick up little things here and there. I may can't get them all at one time, but I pick up something along the way that makes me an individual that move forward. And that's what I say to all the people out there. Be around people who are trying to change their life. Be around people that's talking about making better changes for their life. You got to expose yourself to those people. And then if you don't know how to do it, you'll start to do it because you'll see them doing it. And you can just watch them. You find a person know how to work the system, talk to them. I remember I was dating this young lady, and she got a car.
Real quick, and to add
Go
on
ahead.
to what you said, people who have your answers and not your problems.
Right. That's what I was going to say about this girl. I remember she got this car. Instead of me getting mad, I then said, how did you get the car?
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to know, how did you get that? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And kind of find out. I was like, oh my goodness. Okay. And first of all, let me say welcome to everybody that's tuning in. Let me go and see some of the. It says, "Come on, Rod. Good question. Let's see. Good evening. The same as in North Carolina. It says we failed to get the ship back on course. If the ship
Mhm.
is saved,
So
we
true.
save the passengers."
That's right.
Ah, that's good.
That's
bro.
right.
That's good.
That's good.
I'm gonna repeat that. We fail to get the ship back on course. If the ship is saved, we save the passengers. I like that. Hey Glenn, that was sharp. Yes, positive people. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Many of us have to expose ourselves to positive people, and we
Mhm.
have to get to a point where we understand being around individuals who make the difference. You know, we have conversation many times, and I look back and like and see how people are living, right? Then I mimic it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I watch what they're doing. And what I don't do is I don't fall into the area like you said when you fall down. Most of the time when you fall down, even if you fall down on your stomach, you can easily roll over.
Roll over.
Roll over and look up.
That's right.
You
Roll
know?
over. 'Cause
And
if
some-
you can look up, you can get up.
Yeah. And matter of fact, guess what? If you roll over and you look up and you're hurt, put your hand up. Say
Somebody-
help. Somebody will help you.
Ask for help.
Ask for help. But
And that's
for
the
help.
thing about it. Sometimes people, I guess, pride and stuff like that, they won't ask for help because at the end of the day, if you're the smartest person in the room, you can only go to that level.
yeah,
That's why you need individuals.
yeah,
We need each other.
yes,
You
we
know?
do.
And
We
some
do.
sometimes you don't necessarily have to change your target, but you gotta change your aim. And what's happening is our aim is off target. That's
Mhm.
why we can't hit the bullseye.
That's
But if
right.
you change that aim, you'll still hit the target.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me also tell y'all, it's Friday date night. Normally, ladies, he be asking you, what did you have for dinner? What was you doing for date night? Let me tell you something. What I had for dinner was some sushi. Did Ladies he brought home my guests? They are the weirdest eating people that I've met. And let me tell you something. When I tell you, look, and let me show you what I'm talking about. This is so. I hope they don't mind me putting this out there.
Oh, my
yeah.
goodness,
Let me tell you something. This is so unique. I saw y'all go through a process of being conscious of your health.
Mm.
I saw y'all do something that I thought was impossible. I'm talking about where you went. It's almost like you took the trash can and dumped it.
Yes.
Yeah, take out the
Yes.
trash.
You had to take out the trash.
Yes.
Mhm.
And guess what? When you dumped the trash can, what happened? It was a plastic bag in there, right?
Mhm.
All the trash come out.
Mhm.
You still got the solid part,
Mm-hmm.
which you work on.
Mhm.
And what you can do now, you don't have to put trash in there because it'll hold other things, right?
Mhm.
It'll hold good things,
That's right.
healthy things. That's what this couple does. And this
That
is
is
one reason why I enjoy talking to them. I wanted to share them with you because I want people to know. Keep hope alive. Keep your dream. The guy said on there is the ship goes off. If you can get the ship back on course, then and believe it or not, if you get the ship upright and everybody paddling the way that they supposed to be paddling, if it's necessary to paddle, we can save everybody on the ship and get to the next level, right? Get to the next island where they got all the coconuts and good things on there, and then we say, you know what? On that other island over there, we got to figure out how we gonna get there. It's the system.
Mhm.
How are we going to move to the other island?
Mhm.
That's what we have to do. You know, at 64 years old, I wish that I was learning about understanding, navigating the system at 25.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You want to say something, Charlie?
I mean, but it's kind of hard when the people before us that raised us didn't know the system. So we learn from the people that didn't know the system. But if they knew the system, we may be a little further ahead. I like what that brother said about the ship. What was his name? Glenn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a steal that, Glenn, and I'm gonna say a wise man named Glenn said, I will use your name.
At least one.
Yeah.
Hey, well, we got to know that for real. It's all about us making change. Let me tell you something. Let's keep hope alive. Remember, we said that. That used to be a saying, keeping hope
Yes.
alive.
Yeah.
Let's also get to a point where what we do is we got to help one another.
Mhm.
Let's not be in there where you only focus on self, because what happens when you do that, you're gonna realize sometimes just you growing your corn in your yard, that's all you want to eat is corn. What about the man that's doing the cabbage and the one that's growing the potatoes and the one, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
What about them? Get to a point where you say, if you grow the corn like this, I can show you how to grow it, and then they can show you how to grow the potatoes, and we can move forward. And that's what a lot of people got to get to, instead of making excuses, as you say, and not do anything.
I want to use this scripture because, a lot of people say, let me pray about starting this. Let me pray. I'm not saying you're not supposed to do that. But in that, it says faith without works is dead. So you can have all the faith. Oh, I believe I'm going to start this. But educate yourself. Do the work that it takes. And again, I throw out this revocable and irrevocable trust. Please research it. Learn what it is.
Leave a legacy.
Leave a legacy. You can put insurance policies in it. You can put your house in it. You can put your businesses in it. You can control all of that and create legacy. Well, let's say you put an insurance policy in your wife, put an insurance policy in there. Something happened to you. It goes into the trust. Then your children just keep going into the trust. Then you can help your grandkids go to college because you can pull money off the loan on the policy that you have.
Protect your assets
Protect
too.
your assets. And
Can I?
people,
No, go ahead, because I'm getting ready to set you up.
no, you're not because
Yes, I am.
no, because you know what it is? It's called Google.
Right, but yeah, 'cause
It's called
I'm getting-
YouTube.
Listen, I'm getting ready to set Faustine up because
No.
I love Faustine. I'm trying to tell you, hey, Charles Faustine, he's some of my favorite. So you remember, look, Faustine,
What?
and see the camera right there.
What the
Because
camera?
right there. Yeah,
Which
see,
one?
so you can y'all can look either that one right there or the one right here. But let me tell you this:
Okay.
how would you? I know that you did that class. Remember you was doing that.
Talking about financial
Financial
literacy.
literacy?
Mm-hmm.
How would you like to start it up again?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Why? If you don't mind me asking. Because so many people didn't do it because it was a waste of
It's kind of waste of time. You go in, you pulling information, and you sitting up hours and hours, and
Don't you still have the information?
huh?
You still okay.
Would you like to use it?
Yes.
Oh, you can use it.
But I'm saying I think that you're a very, very smart individual, and you're very passionate about giving out information. I was just
I
giving
mean, I retired now, and I think I'm
You ain't got
trying
nothing
to
else
get
to
my
do.
peace.
You ain't got nothing else
I
to do.
do. I do. You know what my retirement is?
But
Getting my peace.
yeah, but how about
My peace.
having some peace and sharing some more of that information you got?
I can't.
You
know,
think about
I'm a woman of my word,
Would you think
so
about it?
I'm not going to say I'm going to do it.
Okay, but would you think
No,
about
no, I'm not going to say I'm going to think about it, right?
it?
Ain't no use to lie.
Look right there. Look at the camera right there. Look.
I'm
Right
not looking at the camera.
there. Hey, will you think about it?
No,
Please.
Rodney,
I said,
it's
please.
so.
Please.
No,
Please.
no.
You said that was a lot of
I'll
stuff.
give you the information.
No. I don't know all that information.
Just read it. Read it. Put it up on the thing. Just read it. Boom, boom, boom. I'm telling you, it's that detailed.
Okay, give me the information.
12 slides.
I'm
I'm gonna tell y'all what I know for a fact though. Let me tell y'all. Faustine giving me that information. I get on here and screw it up. She gonna be on the phone calling. She gonna call and say, Rodney, that's not what that meant right there. She ain't gonna let that happen.
You know the thing about it, it went from, Charles, if you can remember some of the things, from credit, your Social Security, buying stocks, your TSP, real estate.
What's that? Yeah, what's the insurance dad has? What you got to get at 54? At 54?
At 54, Medicare.
Medicaid.
We
Yeah,
talk about Medicare.
I mean, the young people that don't really benefit them, but it was meant for everybody.
Jobs,
Job interviews.
How to interview, and then we would do like, what do you call it?
Oh yeah, we did mock interviews with people who were looking for jobs.
Actually we did it with who was it, baby?
There were Keisha.
The grandkids. We did it with Keisha.
Did it with the two grandsons. They had to come with a tie on and everything. They had to come with it
on Zoom in a tie or whatever. We were dressed, and then we started asking them questions because I'm scared when it comes to interviews. The thing about it, it's not that you don't know what you do. You know what I mean? Some people just can't say what they do because that fear.
And I'll never forget one young lady we did a mock interview with. She was in tears, right? Yeah. She was in tears while we were mock interviewing her. Yeah. But then she went for the job, got the job. Still work there today.
Glenn said, look me up as is right of the frontburner.com. I think that's right of the frontburner.com. He said, look him up.
We'll get there and check it out.
Yeah. Again, for everybody that just tuned in, as this is date night, what was going on with me, a lot of serious thoughts and things. Lady Z didn't have anything for me but some sushi for the night, so I just had to. I was like, "Yo, we're not going to sit on and just eat no sushi, right?" Nah. Actually, we had already prepared for me to come on and have some serious conversation, and I got blessed. This is why I do believe in our Creator Yah, and because I was coming on to talk about some serious conversation, and then just hear my guests, Faustine and Charles King, who happen to be some very, very focused individuals on quite a few things that they do in life. And I asked them would they come on, and they said thank you. I want you to understand that the purpose for us right now is to try to make change in our life. As Faustine said and Charles, they were saying, look, there's no excuse. We have no excuses. You can go to Google. You can get on the internet. You can find out anything you want. Anything you want. Let us, I got to say this. I'm going to shout this out. I'm going to tell you what my brother told me. My brother told me, he said, Rod, start reading more. Read more. So when you talk, you know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. And he said, when you be able to talk and know what you're talking about, people going to be interested. And now I understand what he was telling me. I know what he was saying. What I'm trying to tell you, that's what this program this evening is about. Get to find the information. Let us change and start getting good habits. Let us start doing things that's going to make our life better. I'm talking all the way around. And y'all heard Faustine say she's gonna get me the information. Let me tell you what I know about Faustine. So check this out. Did she give me that information and I messed it up? Because I'm gonna make sure that Lady she call and tell her, say, Rodney on the air talking about that information. And let me tell you what's gonna happen. I'm telling y'all remember I said this, right? This is what's gonna happen. She gonna get on the phone. She said, Rodney, that ain't what that said. That's not what that said. This is the way you do it.
Fix it on your next podcast.
He said, Glenn said, I taught classes to high school seniors about all of that.
Nice.
Off the front
Good.
burner.
Yes.
My man. Hey, Glenn, we got to get you in. Come on in. We're going to get you in so you can come in and talk about some of the things that you were teaching. What we want to do is we want to change our way of thinking. We want to change the way we're going about it. Let me tell you something. Just because we got a felon running, going to be running the country. I mean,
Oh my goodness.
I'm just telling you. I'm calling it what it is. It is what it is. It doesn't mean that we got to give up on hope.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. They were sending information out to some black kids talking about some racial stuff that was not kind at all. Let me say this to every race out there. Be responsible for your community. Don't worry about them ones that's coming and trying to dilute your community. Do what you can in your community to build up. We have to build our own Wall Streets. We have to get our own banks. We have to get our own sources for us to survive. Because when you create your system, you can work your system. Just think about it. The system that's been created may not have been made for you. But you can learn the system like many other people do. Learn how to get around it. Learn how to beat it. Learn how to undermine it. And then you create your own. Because that's what we just saw happen. For real. We saw a system get undermined. We saw a person go through a process of breaking laws one after another, and get put in a position to be really in one of the most prestige seats that you can get. And we got to do something about that. And how we do it is start with yourself. Start with yourself. Let's get to a point where we start to understand the system so we can work it too. Work it to benefit us. All them people sending all them threats out to them black kids, let me tell you something. God will deal with you. I'm going to tell you that. I believe that with all my heart. And I'm going to tell you, for all the ones that's afraid right now, don't be. Don't be afraid. What you're going to do is you're going to buckle up, tie your bootstrap up, and get ready to get in the mud. Because sometimes you got to do that as well. For everybody just tuned in, I'm telling you, this is part of our process moving forward. I say people to people. You know what that's all about? People to people. That's like you, me, and them. Who is them? Whoever you want them to be. And guess what? Power to power. The power you possess, the power I possess, the power they possess. Right? Now, we can handle this several ways. You can get together and become a force of positive thinking people to get some positive outcomes. You fall down, Faustine said, if you fall down, most of the time you fall down, you end up on your back, you be looking up. You can still get up. If you fall down on your stomach, roll over. If you can't get up by yourself, put your hand out and say, I need some help. But let's make a difference. Let me see. He said He walks while people smoking weed and are still in jail. I know, bruh. That don't make sense. That does not make sense.
Off weed.
We
That's
got
legal now.
He know how to work the system.
he know how. Would you say he know how to work the system? That's
right.
just it.
Can't be mad.
Yeah, you can't be mad.
No,
You can't be mad. We got to learn how to work the system. Let me tell you this, but you know something, Faustine, that I like what you said. You said, hey, stop, don't complain about a felon being in office now. Just, hey, what you want to do is write to your congressman and write to your,
Take it off the application.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Take it
write
off
to the
the
congressman and tell him, y'all need to take
Remove
that. You need to remove that.
And don't look for it when you investigate in my background.
Right. Why worry about it? I mean, right now, it don't mean nothing. You can do whatever you want. So we need to write to the congressman, bring that to them. They know that it's the truth. It's the truth. They need to remove that. We got people that's coming out of jail from being locked up that didn't deserve to be there. Some did,
Yeah.
but some of them didn't.
Some made a mistake.
Some
Then
made
they learn
mistakes,
from
and
it.
they learn from it.
Right.
Remove it. Let them come out. And now, if they commit a crime again,
Mhm.
let them do the time again. I ain't mad at them. You feel me? But we also see that some people can do the crime and don't do the time. Some people, I don't know what that's some of the parts that confuse me. That's some of the things that make me realize, guess what? We got to make a change with ourselves and in our environment. We got to do what we got to do as a people. We got to make a difference. Let's stop blaming everybody else. Let me tell you something. Hopefully as we move forward with the program, we will bring more information on how to empower yourself. We get more people on here that can give you information about your finances, breaking habits. I'm talking about. I got a friend, Horace Williams. He always say, "Your health is your wealth," right?
Mhm.
You know that's true.
It is.
It's true.
Have all the money in the world.
You can have all the money in the world, but your
Yeah.
health is your wealth.
Right.
He's a fitness coach, right?
Oh,
And he calls me on the regular. He always say, "Right, man, come on now." Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, I'll keep it real. So he tell me, he said, "Man, you dressed too nice to have that stomach." he called me and say, "Come on, bro, come on, man." But you know something? Can I get rid of the stomach?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
can.
If you want to. If
Yeah,
you want to.
but it got to be focused, right? What I
Yeah.
can tell y'all, let me tell you, and I'm gonna say this. I just recently, I haven't ate meat going on. I'm going into my second week, I think, right, Lady Z? So I cut out the meat.
Mhm.
Okay. Sometimes you got to take baby steps,
You do.
Mhm.
You
right?
do.
And if you want to see change, you got to make the changes yourself.
You do.
See, I can't blame
Yeah.
the man who putting all that dye and all that garbage in that meat if I put it in my stomach.
True.
Especially when you already know all the garbage that's in it.
Yeah.
Right. So my point is that what we got to do is start making changes for the betterment of that. That's why I try to tell y'all. Let me tell y'all. I hope they don't get offended when I say it, but their bodies is the tin can, right? And they had these bags inside that tin can, and both of them took the bags out and dumped it.
You gotta take the trash out.
They took the trash out. I'm telling you what I saw. I watched them. DC, when I tell you, you can't say what you can't do. Not with these two.
You saw us 40 pounds ago.
Right.
Yeah.
That's when you
Most
saw us.
definitely.
Yeah.
And statin ago. When I
Yeah.
say statin ago, that's where they give you the pills to put your cholesterol so high, and you have a plaque in your arteries. You understand that it's supposed to thin this out or whatever it does, to knowing that the statin pills can affect your kidneys or your whatever. So now it's like, what do? Again, you say you stop eating meat, but first of all, diseases and everything starts in the stomach.
Yeah.
First, we got to get all of that stuff out of here first
Right.
through detoxing, through the detoxing. And once you push all that stuff out of yourself, we are, well, we were plant-based. We've been strictly plant-based for like some months.
Oh,
Right, babe?
Yeah.
Just strictly just juicing, smoothie.
That's
That's
really
pretty
it.
much.
Yeah.
Doing our herbal
All
teas,
dark green,
doing tinctures,
leafy stuff.
leafy stuff. So that right there pushed the weight, not only just your weight, but your health as well. So our level, my cholesterol level, all of that stuff changed and everything. So yeah, a good detox and exercise as well.
Gotta exercise.
Gotta exercise.
Susie, she said, I just joined in, not sure of the topic, but
Oh.
change starts in you.
That's right.
That's right.
You're
That's
correct.
right.
We talking about changing. We talking about making a difference in our life, Susie. We talking about not blaming other people for the situations, and get up and start doing something. A lot of us are looking right now. What do we do with the way that the economy is? You know something? Let me tell you something. If you're worried about it, start doing something about it. If you and let me tell you something else. Everything that happens up in Congress, everything that happens in the White House doesn't dictate what happens in your living room.
In your house.
In your house. What happens in your house, you have control over.
That's right.
Know that.
That's right.
So if we're going to complain to yourself in the mirror. Complain to a point where you're going to say, you know what, Rodney, in order for you to get rid of the stomach, you can't just stop eating meat. Now you got to detox. You got to focus. You feel me? I tell people a lot of times when I talk to you, I don't want y'all to think I know everything, because I don't. But you know something? I'm learning as I go. And when they say you can't teach your old dog new tricks, that's a lie. Long as the dog is breathing and he can walk or crawl, guess what? You can teach him. Because he probably got enough wisdom to learn. He may not learn it as fast as the puppy, but guess what? When he do it, he's going to do it to perfection.
You know another thing, Rodney, is, a lot of time, and like Sue said, like you alluded to also, is you gotta change within yourself. But see, we get distracted because we too busy trying to change that person and that person. And when we focusing on changing other people, you ain't even looking at what's going on in your own environment,
Right.
Your own little piece of the shell. And then now you're falling behind. You're missing things now. So how can you change yourself if you're too busy trying to change everyone else?
That's so true. Ladies and gentlemen, I went over and I'm just going over 5 more minutes. I'm sorry, because I love this couple that I have in here. They are very, very I consider to be a very, very powerful couple that inspires many, many people who listen to the conversations that they share. And so if you just joined in, this is my good friend Faustine and her husband Charles. And we watched them over and over and over. Lady Z, if you can come in here real quick, leave it right where it is. Come in, please. Again, this is not something that we do, and we do it because we don't have nothing to do. Because believe it or not, we all could be right at home right now watching some movies, eating some stuff down in the basement, chilling, and not worrying about giving this information out. But we took the time to come out, and I'm just saying, me and Lady Z made a decision tonight. We wasn't going to make it all about just us sitting down and laughing and joking. We wanted to give some serious conversation. And so she said that what she was going to do, baby, you go ahead and have the couple on, and I'm going to go ahead and work the board so that we could get some information out. And I just want to say to you, please watch this over again and get some of your friends to watch this over and listen to some of the things that Faustine and Charles were sharing. Some of the things even I said that would change your life and put you in a position where you're going to be able to live a better life. not blaming somebody else or blaming the situation. You know, Faustine, she's real adamant about asking, what did you do? I told you, what did you do? Right? And then we'll come and see her and Charles, and guess what? We see the results.
Mhm.
See, the results is in the pudding. What you put in it, you know?
Yeah.
So if you understand what I mean, you got to put the work in.
Mhm.
And I say that, I'm talking to me, even to me and my wife, as we move forth. We're not perfect. Everything is not working perfectly in our life. No. But guess what? We can make changes. And you can too, for all of you that's tuned in. I appreciate you tuning in on the People to People podcast. This is a podcast where it's all about you have a voice and a choice. And you know something? We got different people doing different things. Down here at the Good Fight, we got Demetrius Gooding. You want to bring your kids in and get your child to start getting a little bit of some information. Hey, you come and check this young lady out, see what she's doing.
Sorry.
You know, and we got all kind of different little things that we're doing. We got a boutique in here, Delicia, who is helping to sponsor people. And when I say sponsor, they put you in a position. If you need a suit or a pair of shoes or something you can't afford it, you can come down here and get it.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice stuff. Nice stuff. These people are trying to make a difference. And it's not just about us pointing the finger. It's about making a difference and being responsible for our actions. So for everybody to tune, I want to tell you thank you. I want to tell you thank you. Keep us in prayer. And let's move forward and make a difference. Let's show love to each other. Let's support one another. Let's not get to a point where it's just about you. But Charles said, if you can't help yourself, how you going to help somebody else? How you going to help somebody if you can't help yourself? You know? So, you know, we got to get to a point. Help yourself.
Mhm.
Start getting to you. What we can do, we can detox.
Mhm.
That's
Clean
right.
your house.
Come on, clean the
Take
house.
out the
So you
trash.
can detox not just your stomach,
That's right.
you can detox your brain.
Take
That's
out the
right.
trash.
Take out the
Indeed.
trash.
Get them parasites out.
And how about that? So with that said, Lady Z, you can go in there and I know Lady Z always want to know what y'all ate. So
What's on your plate? What do you have on your plate? If you had anything on your plate.
you know how she is. She always want to know what y'all eat. Hey, can y'all tell Lady Z that when we get to the house to fix me something, please?
Detox.
Hey,
You know that's right.
but God is good.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you,
Yeah.
Charles and Faustine, for joining me. I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
And we just love you. Hey, it's people to people, power to power, power to state people. Guess what? That's how we do. We here for you to make a choice in the voice. All right. Thank you so much. It's People to People, the People Podcast of the DMV. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about we and God we trust. Sir Rod and Lady Z. PTP.